The woman was getting some air and laughing at someone in the opposite building, staring at her, occasionally twisting their neck in a strange manner. Su-Xin tentatively greeted them. But to her surprise, the person climbed onto the window, jumped down. The woman suffered fractures all over her body from the fall. But miraculously, she didn't die and twisted her neck to look over at Su-Xin. Su-Xin was absolutely terrified. She rushed back to the bedroom to wake up her sleeping husband. But when they both ran to the balcony and looked down, the person who should have been lying on the ground was now nowhere to be seen. Her husband tried to comfort Su-Xin. Maybe it is because of the stress from work lately and you are having hallucinations. However, just as Su-Xin was about to go to sleep, she heard a knock on their door. She wanted to ask her husband to check, but he was in such a deep sleep. With no other choice, she had to go herself. Su-Xin peeked through the peephole. There seemed to be a shadow of a person outside. Her scalp tingled with fear, but she mustered up the courage to open the door. However, there was nothing outside. Unwilling to give up, she went to check the hallway. Unbeknownst to her, someone crawled into her house, and immediately the door closed. Su-Xin freaked out. She hurried back inside, but after looking around the house, she found nothing. Not finding anything was the scariest part.
It feels like someone entered. What are you talking about? There's no one here. There's nothing. Come on.
But as soon as she fell asleep, there was someone in the house. Hello everyone, I'm probably saying welcome to the horror channel. Today's episode is truly quite intense. Friends who are easily scared, please watch with caution. Su-Xin and Xiaoshuai have been married for many years. Life has always been pretty happy for them. The only hurdle is that they don't have a child. The in-laws don't open the door. But at every family gathering their stairs seem to say, "You're not Ho." Fed up with it all, they ran to the statue of the Virgin Mary to pray for a child. Su-Xin said something really intense at the time. "If I can get pregnant, I'll give anything." And soon enough, her wish came true. She really got pregnant. Su-Xin was so overjoyed, she started touching her belly every day. "Baby, come soon. Mommy's ready for you." But here's the weirder part. The happier she felt, the more bizarre things got. She decided to make the baby's crib herself, so her child would feel her love the moment it was born. But as she looked up, she saw a giant spider on the wall. It didn't move, just stared at her. From that day on, she couldn't fall asleep whenever she closed her eyes. The doctor asked about her job, and upon learning she often handled chemicals, advised her to stay away from them. But Su-Xin refused. She insisted the crib and cradle had to be finished. At one family gathering, Su-Xin tried to help take care of her sister's 2 kids. But what she got in return was backhanded sarcasm. Turns out she'd once had an accident while babysitting the neighbor's kid. The child tumbled down the stairs. Though nothing serious happened, it became a laughingstock for the whole family. Clumsy can't do anything, right? Su-Xin smiled on the outside, but inside she began to crack. She hid in the bathroom, staring at herself in the mirror. And for the first time she doubted, can I really be a mother? Her insomnia grew worse. One night, she thought she saw someone standing on the balcony across the way. The next second, the person started twisting their neck like crazy, then leaped off. Su-Xin screamed and dragged Xiaoshuai to the balcony. Xiaoshuai looked down. Nothing was there. He turned back and said, "See, you're just too tense." Su-Xin started to develop a problem. Whenever she got nervous, her fingers would act up, as if using pain to prove she was still sane. But the more bizarre things became, the harder it was for her to explain. The first time she spoke up, people thought she was just anxious. The second time, they called her dramatic. By the third time, everyone just labeled her as crazy. Su-Xin was on the verge of breaking down from all this distrust. Her aunt couldn't bear to watch it, so she introduced Su-Xin to a witch. The witch did her thing and fiddled around with Su-Xin, then put out a glass jar containing a spider and said, "You've been cursed by this spider. But don't worry, I've taken care of it. You can go back to living your life in peace." After returning home, Su-Xin did feel calm for a while. But hey, remember one thing. In horror stories, fixing something is usually just delaying the inevitable. That night, Su-Xin was fast asleep, but something entered her house.
What's going on? What happened? What's wrong? It broke. What broke? My leg!
Valeria, listen to me. Hey, I'm right here.
It was just a nightmare. But it hurts so much.
Probably just that muscle. Yet, Su-Xin knew that pain was real. She dunked her head into water, trying to clear her mind. Once upon a time, she was carefree rocking a bleached buzz cut, hanging out with a rebellious group of friends, the curly-haired sister being her closest confidant. But when she chose marriage and kids, she cut ties with all of that. Now out of nowhere, she desperately wanted to see her curly-haired friend. It wasn't about rebelling again. She just needed a place to catch her breath. But what she didn't realize was, the more she tried to breathe the tighter, the noose around her neck became. On the day of the gathering, her sister dumped 2 kids on Su-Xin to babysit, repeatedly reminding her of all the precautions before leaving. Su-Xin got so nervous that her fingers started acting up again. The 2 little troublemakers kept hiding the remote control and knocking over buckets of water, dancing right on her minefield. Su-Xin has reached her limit, hiding in the kitchen and hitting hard with resulting in a snap and a broken finger. But the next moment, her hand returned to normal. Just then, a strange shadow appeared on the window. The shadow twisted its neck, weirdly twice, and in the next second, it directly rushed into the living room. Su-Xin thought the ghost was going to hurt her 2 nephews, so she ran upstairs with the kids and locked the door.
Are you crazy, idiot? I have something wrong. Someone broke in.
The alarm attracted all the neighbors, but nothing unusual was found. They all looked at Su-Xin strangely. "Are you out of your mind?" The child beat his pants from fear and sprained his ankle. Sister's protection mode activated fiercely. "A person like you shouldn't have children." Su-Xin opened her mouth to explain, but she suddenly realized she didn't have a single word that could make people believe. Su-Xin was completely at her wit's end. She could only go to her aunt again to see the witch, showing large scars and saying her aunt opened her clothes, showing large scars. The last incident came with a price. After hearing this, Su-Xin felt even more desperate, so the problem wasn't actually solved. It was just someone else took her place. That spider never left. Su-Xin's condition got worse and worse, and Xiaoshuai grew more distant from her. During a dinner gathering, she saw that black spider again. Panicking, she ran out to light a cigarette to calm down. The next moment, she realized she couldn't smoke because she was pregnant. She quickly put it out. Suddenly, she saw a pair of hands extend from behind the stroller. Su-Xin ran to the living room in terror and burst into tears. At this moment, Xiaoshuai heard the noise and hurriedly asked what was wrong.
What is wrong with me? What? Smell of Valeria. Get out of the way.
There is a woman. Enough, Valeria.
A woman broke the crib. Is it a ghost of a woman?
Do you even know what you are saying?
Saksin is on the verge of collapse. Her family just slaps a label on her.
Prenatal depression.
Saksin can only turn to Wanfa for comfort, but this time the other party refused. The two parted ways in anger. Saksin realizes she has no way out. Her family doesn't believe her. Her friends ignore her. What should she do? Finally, the long-awaited day of delivery arrives. She gives birth to a baby girl. Everything at home seems to return to normal, but the baby won't stop crying. Saksin is tormented to the point of collapse. Late one night, she finally manages to soothe the baby to sleep. She closes her eyes to rest for a moment. A phone call from Xiao Shuai wakes her up. After hanging up, she suddenly jumps up. She realizes the baby in the crib is gone. She searches the entire room but can't find it. At that moment, a faint cry comes from the kitchen. She rushes over and opens the fridge. The baby is inside. Saksin collapses on the spot. She doesn't remember when or how it happened. The truth is right there. In despair, Saksin takes the baby to see the witch. She tells the witch, "I'm willing to pay any price just to end this bizarre life." The witches perform a ritual for her. Not long after Saksin passes out, when Saksin wakes up again, she finds herself in a dense jungle. The eerie and the sinister atmosphere terrifies her. She wants to escape, but she notices strange white humanoid creatures appearing around her, crawling slowly toward her. Soon Saksin is surrounded. She tries to fight back, but is completely useless. It isn't long before Saksin is utterly broken. Her thigh is snapped, exposing her bare white bones. It's a horrifying sight. As Saksin drifts in and out of consciousness, she suddenly sees another version of herself. That version of her is turned away. A raging fire ignites on my body. Then I walk further and further away.